What's up guys, Alex here. In today's video, I want to talk about how to build up your credit score fast. This video is going to be great for people who are struggling with their credit or if you're just building up your credit from scratch. There's going to be a lot of tips that I'm going to share with you guys today that's really going to help increase your credit score. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the number one thing I want to share with you guys is that if you have any derogatory items, charged off accounts or accounts that are in collection, it has a really huge impact on your credit score. I had a perfect score in 800, but one time, I'm not sure if I should mention the name or not, but it is Frontier. They screwed up my credit score. I went from an 800 credit score down to the low 600s. I was so pissed. It was during that time when they're transitioning from Verizon to Frontier, and I had the worst customer service. They changed up my bill several times. I wasn't really happy. And at the end of the day, they were charging me like double or triple of how much I normally pay. So I ended up just canceling them and didn't want to deal with them. But then what they did was that they sent up past due items to collections, and all of a sudden it was reflecting on my credit report. And that destroyed my credit score. So after a couple of calls to the banks and to the credit bureaus to try to get that disputed, it didn't work out. So, I did use their service at that time. So I feel like I should just go ahead and pay them off. At the end of the day, I didn't want that to affect my credit score. My credit score is going to be so much more important than having a couple $100 collection item. So after doing that, within a couple of days, my credit score went back up to 800. If you guys haven't done so already, I recommend signing up for Credit Karma. I personally use it myself to monitor my credit scores. It is completely free to sign up and it allows you to track your credit score at any time. It also shows you all the accounts that you have and also tells you what are the things that are affecting your credit scores. So definitely a great tool you must have if you haven't done so already. So going back here, I know it sucks to have other companies put a collection item or derogatory mark on your credit report, but you just have to deal with it. Either call them, dispute it as soon as possible, or just pay them off. I know you got to do what you got to do. Well, if you just think of it this way, having a great credit score is going to allow you to get the best terms on when you're applying for a mortgage or when you're applying for a car loan. You're just going to be able to save so much more money by having a great credit than to have those derogatory items on your credit report. It's just not worth it, especially if you only owe them a few $100s. Just go ahead and pay that off as soon as possible. All right, now the second thing here is, let's just say that you're just starting out and you don't have any credit history at all. What you could do is add yourself as an authorized user on somebody who has a great credit score. So whether it's your parents or guardian or a friend who is willing to add you on as an authorized user, because that will allow you to build up on some of their credit history. Now, it won't have a huge impact on your credit score, but it does help. And the second thing you want to do is apply for a secure credit card. And there are a lot of banks out there that's offering these secure credit cards right now, such as Capital One, Discover, and Bank America. These are all great options. Now, there is an annual fee on that, which is like $30 to $40. But the most important thing you guys need to do is to have a credit card. You want at least one credit card so that you have a revolving credit line on your credit report. And that will allow you to start building your credit. A secure credit card will usually have a 1-to-1 ratio. And how it works is that, let's say you deposit $1,000 as a cash collateral for this secure credit card. And the bank will offer you the same amount, $1,000, for your credit card limit. And the banks are willing to do that because there's no risk on their part. But for you, you guys will be able to start building up your credit score. I would say it should only take you guys about 6 months to a year before you guys will get approved for a regular credit card without any annual fee and collateral. All right, so now let's take a quick look at some of the things that are affecting your credit score. So first one, we have amount owed, and then we have payment history, new credit, length of history, and credit mix. And so what I want to do here is to use the 80-20 rule. So the things that are affecting your credit scores the most. Let's focus on that and we'll be able to get that credit score up in no time. All right, so the first thing is your payment history. That itself, it has the most impact on your credit score. It accounts for 35%. So yes, it does take some time for you to prove to banks that you're able to make your payments on time. But what you want to do is set up automatic payments. If you haven't done so already, do it right now. Always set up automatic payments for your credit cards, for your mortgage, car loans, so you will never miss a payment. If you can, you want to set up your automatic payments to pay off your statement balance in full every month. But if you can't do that, do at least the minimum so that you will never miss a payment. Having a late payment is really going to mess up your credit. So this is one thing you definitely want to get started right away. And here's another thing. If you have a 30 days late, it'll be much better than a 60 days late or 90 days late. So if you found yourself caught in the late payments, you want to get those paid as soon as possible. And then what I'll also do is to call the bank right away and to see if they can waive any late payment fee, and or to see if they can not report that late payment to the credit bureaus. Sometimes you're able to get away with it. It never hurts to ask. So very important here, guys, your payment history, you want that to be 100%, and it's never too late to start. All right, now the second thing here is how much of an amount you owe compared to your credit limit. So this is looking at your credit utilization, and this accounts for 30% of what's affecting your credit score. So what they're looking for here is your total credit utilization. So let's just say, for example, you have two credit cards, and one credit card you have $3,000 balance, on the other one you have $7,000 balance. So your total credit limit here is $10,000. So what you want to do here is to never go over 30% of your total credit limit. So meaning that if you have $10,000 balance, you never want to spend more than $3,000. You can max out on the $3,000 credit card and still be fine. But you should also prevent from maxing out your credit cards at any time. And another thing is if you're calling the bank to increase your credit limit on your existing credit card, I would not recommend doing that because that's going to put a hard inquiry on your credit report. I would rather you apply for a new credit card because that's usually going to get you a much higher credit limit compared to just calling your bank to increase your credit limit. And another thing is that you're able to take advantage of the new credit card account bonus when you sign up for a new credit card. And you guys can check out my other videos for credit cards with the best account bonuses too. And that is also why having more credit cards is going to get you a better credit score, because you're going to have a higher credit limit, and that's why your credit utilization is going to stay low. So open more credit cards when you're able to and bring that credit utilization down. But I also want to warn some people out there, if you're applying for more credit cards so that you have more purchase power, that's not the right way to build up your credit score. So definitely you want to be disciplined on how much you're spending and keep that credit limit utilization down. All right, so now the last thing on the list is the length of credit history. And this accounts for 15% of what's impacting your credit score. So what the credit bureaus wanted to see here is that they want to see you guys having accounts for a longer period of time. What they don't like to see is having too many new accounts open recently, because that's going to lower your average length of credit history. So what you want to do here is to never close your first credit card, because that first credit card has the longest history. Well, except if your first credit card is a secure credit card and has an annual fee, then you probably want to get that closed out. But anyways, you want your first credit card to stay open for as long as possible. You can put in your drawer and never use it, because that's going to help you build up your credit score. And one other thing to note here is that let's say you're shopping for a car right now, and you're worried that there's going to be a lot of dealerships trying to pull your credit, that's going to affect your credit score. But the credit bureaus understands that you're shopping for a car, so they won't actually penalize you. Usually have a 14 to 45 days window to run your credit several times with different dealerships. It won't actually affect your credit score. It also goes the same for a mortgage as well. You'll be given that 45 days window to shop for the best mortgage for yourself without it affecting your credit score. But it doesn't work on a credit card because every credit card you apply for, it's going to be a hard inquiry. So yeah, that's it, guys. It's really not that hard. And I think all of you watching can do this as well. All you got to do is focus on these last three things here. It's going to allow you to build up your credit score in no time. So thank you guys so much for watching today. And I really appreciate your feedback, and like and subscribe. If you don't do that, you're not going to have a good credit score as good as mine. All right. Thank you guys. Take care.